In Athletes Unlimited, you must withstand big point swings. Being swept or committing errors can bring you down. Doing the sweeping and succeeding will build you up. Already week 2 of AU Volleyball has seen huge moves. How do these women and their teams handle the swings? Who soars and who sinks? We find out right now. Team Cappy taking on Team Dela Cruz Mejia. As we look at our championship chase, top 5 coming out of our match number 1. This is match number 2. Brittany Abercrombie made another big move. A sweep in her second match puts her on top of Betania Dela Cruz Mejia, who we expect will respond. The champion in 22 looking for yet another title. Welcome inside once again, everybody. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael. Olympian Key Michael, tell me this, okay? Betania Dela Cruz Mejia's squad got a sweep last time out. How do you slow them down when a team looks that good?
Well, for me, every Batman needs their Robin, and Nunaviller might have found that in Kelsey Payne this week. They weren't so strong together last week, but if you're going to slow down a team like Betty Dela Cruz, who has committed murder on the draft for the second time in a row, you got to have some strategic serving.
Okay, strategic serving from one side. On the other side is the Swiss Army knife. They want to get her going. Brooke Nunaviller, draft pick number 1.
Nunaviller, fantastic as per usual. Here's the thing, she found herself time and time again as a one-woman show, both last week for her own team and then again for Cappy this week. She's crafty, she's got shots like a beach player, her defense is like that of a former libero. The question continues to be, who's stepping up beside her? Gotten some more production out of Kelsey Payne in the opposite, but in that outside hitting spot, perhaps the answer is Temi Thomas-Ailara.
All right, Betania Dela Cruz Mejia and her team have cleared a little room for activities. She's found her partner.
Yeah, on the other side of the net, it is so clear how important the 1-2 punch is in getting these wins. Dela Cruz and member Monet are in the reception together for the second week in a row. That is actually crucial because they start to get to know each other. They haven't had a single error between them in the past. If you combine that with each having a killer jump serve, an aggressive front court play, these two are a huge reason Betty's side just continues to dominate.
Dela Cruz Mejia and member Monet. This is the dynamic duo. Look at that, 13 kills, 8 digs. It's really a complete performance by Lecator member Monet.
Yeah, all around players, both of them. Both of them are so strong in every aspect of their game, and I'm looking at the aces in particular. Member Monet struggled a little bit with her service game yesterday, day before yesterday, but I think she'll step it up today.
Here's the frightening thing if you're facing off with Natalia Valentin Anderson, who will get us started, and Team Dela Cruz Mejia. The Big Beth was the least efficient pin on the floor for the women in gold, and they swept anyway. That first kill does go to Nunaviller. Good sign for Team Cappy.
Yeah, that's a wild statistic when you think about Betty being one of the most offensive players out there. If she's not even the best on her team, that spells trouble for anyone on the other side of the net.
And that number was 158. It's not as though everybody hit a super huge number and you go, oh, well, she hit 324 and somebody else hit 326. No, it was not a good night for the typically efficient Betania Dela Cruz Mejia, who will step back a serve, jump service coming. International volleyball star, multiple-time Olympian. Mayfield, good pass, right side, Payne, tipped. Picked up. Valentin Anderson will feature on D. Quick to the outside. Nunaviller again picked up by the same 2-7 in black. Payne, Bug, Fader. If you're scoring baseball style at home.
Bug as well getting her start this weekend. Didn't play a whole lot. Came in as a double sub in the last week. Now, she is such an experienced setter. I love that she's using her middle early.
As Key mentioned, squad has not given up an ace, but they get blocked here. Emily Thader with the stuff. Emily Thader's had a really nice start to her Athletes Unlimited experience.
Yeah, and it's tough as a middle to go out there and really prove what you have. Not getting a lot of options in the set, but making a difference in the block, in particular is Thader.
2 touches, Thader will put it over. Missouri native looking for another block, and she gets it right there. I had a chance to catch up with the 6'3", 29-year-old middle blocker. Has been a pro for a long time, and she was raving about this experience, getting to know all of the other women, the styles of play, what people need on the floor.
Yeah, and it's so funny because you don't have a whole lot of time to learn everything about every other player, but there's so much off-court time they get to spend with each other. There's 44 players sort of changing teams each week, and they're in the hotel together, learning each other on and off the court, which to me is kind of the best part about this whole league.
No, it's not. Don't lie to the people at home, okay? You know, we all know the best part is the pets. That's your favorite part.
You are correct. You are 100% correct.
Back to serve, Jenna Rosenthal. Back in the starting lineup after a match off. Back row pain off the head of Karis Watson. Nonaviller, left side, trying to chip it off the block. At least see her go high flat, perhaps. Monet covers De La Cruz Mejia. Monet, big swing this time, off Thader, out of bounds.
Monet providing that outlet, just that little bit more confidence to swing off the net. Not all outside hitters in this league look quite as confident as her when she's a 3 foot off the net. Maybe Maddie Kingdon-Rishel, one of them.
Listen, not all outside hitters in the world look as comfortable as Member Monet as that ball is off the block and out of bounds when they're 3 or 4 feet off the net. I think Member Monet has never met a big swing she didn't take.
Yeah, and she has said in an interview, you know, what's it like being an undersized attacker? Do you have any advice for other undersized attackers? She said, what do you mean? I'm just an attacker. Don't put that on me. I play my style of volleyball.
Yes, please. I like that. Member Monet, yeah, undersized is how you would describe Member Monet at 5'9". Outsized is how you would describe her play. All right, 2 challenges per team per set. We have a challenge issued, and it was whether that ball landed in or out of bounds off the block. Team De La Cruz thought it landed in, and you know what? They were right.
Get another look at it here. I think Brooke Nonaviller knew in her heart of hearts, she's watching that. She's right there closer than anyone, but Willow making sure that everyone else knows.
Bug, dump, successful.
Ooh, I love when a setter does that early in the game, and she's going up with her left arm. She's getting a good amount of hand on the ball. Watson kind of just waiting, hanging, not ready yet.
Brooke Nonaviller back to serve. 54 digs, 4th in Athletes Unlimited entering the evening. Of course, we've already had 1 match. This is our 2nd. Glad you're with us. Kevin Bardown alongside Olympian Key Michael. Ball outside, and that is how you do it. Better defense that time from Mary Lake, the one-time BYU star. Lekator, the complete player with the defense. Bug, where do you go? Outside. Thomas-Ailara is going to play some front row, and they may keep her in overall. We'll see. They're looking for some more offensive punch, and Thader finds himself just wide. I wondered coming in, what is the distance off the net that you think the ball can be delivered by Maddie Bug to Kayla Caffey when she's in the match?
Bug to Caffey. If she's running in the front, which Caffey tends to do, she prefers that front court attack. I think the 2 of them can find maybe 3 meters.
Okay.
I think you can still deliver it at 3 meters. Bug certainly has the skill to do it.
From the line, all right, delivery there. Lake and Ailara need to talk about it. Overpass is killed by Karis Watson. And the tough serving ways of the women in black continue. They had 6 aces, 12 errors in their first match. Definitely getting return on the investment. Johnson. Aces, Lake, right away. That's a winner.
Beautiful serve by Johnson. That's kind of floating, dipping, doesn't have a whole lot of spin on it. And this is something we talk about with Betty's team. She has prioritized servers that take risk, that are aggressive from the end line. It looks different with every server, but that's an aggressive serve.
6-1 run. De La Cruz Mejia. Thader smashes that one through.
Good work by Lake to take care and handle that second one, so much so that the middle's involved.
Thader and I were chatting earlier today. Played in France most recently. We were talking about our mutual hatred of crusty socks.
What's a crusty sock?
Oh, you know, you've played in Europe. If you don't have a dryer and you got to air dry your socks, it's just a horrible, small thing in life.
I feel think that might be a you thing, Kevin.
Oh no! Oh, we'll take a poll. We'll poll every player in here who's played in Europe, and we'll ask: are crusty socks okay or not? Should you be given a dryer when you live overseas? I would go with yes.
It's funny that you say that. When I went to visit Maddie Bug, she said, I'm one of the few players that does have a dryer,
yes,
but I don't use it because it's so hot and it takes 6 hours to dry anything, so she just puts a fan on her clothes.
Okay, little known fact, that's because European dryers do not vent to the outdoors. It is one of the dumbest things ever. Just put your socks in the oven, I guess.
Or the microwave.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Or just outside, it's hot.
Ridiculous. Europe, pull yourselves together. 8-7 here. The women in black, that is Team De La Cruz Mejia leading. Not anymore. We're tied off that stuffed block. Count the points for Kayla Caffey, who continues to lead this league in overall blocks. That is her 16th on the season.
Tammy Thomas-Ailara. We talked about her being maybe a little something extra, a little something special for this blue side. She got a little bit of a look in the last match, but could she get more playing time? Will she make a difference?
Okay, Valentina Anderson goes right back to the middle. So Karis Watson will go back to serve. Rock Hill, South Carolina. Clemson spent a lot of time as a backup middle last year. She's been a full-time starter this season.
I wonder what she thinks of our commentary as well, because her brother is an NFL commentator.
That ball over the top and good. Well, I was probably listening to him today on Red Zone.
Possibly. Go Eagles.
Go Birds, baby.
I got it right.
Outside. Through the block. Ailara's there. Jam play picked up. No swing. Ailara, with her defense, keeps herself at the service line.
Betty had a real dip in the second set, I believe it was, of the last match. I think there was some strategic serving that helped get her out of her rhythm.
Another dig middle back by 25 in blue. Roll shot, Johnson waiting on it. Betty pushing through the top. There are times where Betania De La Cruz, despite playing for as many years as she has, really shows her physicality even at 37.
Oh my gosh, there are very few players still, or even in their prime, as physical as Betty De La Cruz. All muscle, all strength, but again, she's got that finesse to go with it. So you're seeing those shots, rolls, tips, finding that honeypot in the middle.
All muscle with an added smile all the time, or that serious look. She never really seems upset. She goes from happy to serious.
Yeah.
That ball's long.
I think Betty likes being captain. I feel she's really good in that role as well. She's not going to want anyone else pulling the strings or calling the shots.
Talia Valentina Anderson will tell you that Betty's very good in that role. And Natia sat in that chair a bunch herself. Nunaviller. That's one of the best looking attacks we've seen from the former Oregon Duck.
Nunaviller, another player that you start to see it in her eyes. When the team is not quite performing, she will take that on her shoulders.
Played for the Professional Volleyball Federation last year. She was an all-PVF selection out of Omaha. And Betania De La Cruz has been a multiple-time All-Star in her professional leagues, as well as when playing for the Dominican Republic. Her heavy jump serve, very much an idea of her game. Big from Betty. Nunaviller, good spot. Can the opposite terminate? Yes, she can. Kelsey Payne delivers.
Payne, OT over the top of the block, and that's a pretty big block in front of her. She's got Jenna Rosenthal in the zone there. Finding that deep corner. What do you call it? The coffin corner.
Coffin corner.
I call it the corner of baklava.
I'm not sure why
Triangle,
we're so
the triangle of baklava.
Not sure why we're so different on this.
We're so different on so many things, Kevin.
A coffin, obviously not good. Baklava,
Delicious.
obviously good.
It's a delicious swing.
Overhead, force tip, Lake there. A little bit of confusion on that first contact. No confusion about that. That's a kill from Willow Johnson, number 44, the Arizona native, and you might not be surprised to find that name and that number living in Arizona. Her father, Randy Johnson, of course, the legendary lefty pitcher. And a photog.
What's that?
A person who takes photography. That would be you, Key. You are also somewhat of a photog.
I love learning from you, Kevin. Every day is a school day.
I worked for Supercross for years, which is motorcycle racing in stadiums, and we come down here to Arizona for the 2nd or 4th event of the year. And we'd be down here, and on the track would be a very tall man in a photo bib, allowed to be on the track and take photos. Randy Johnson.
What do you know?
Backslide, Emily Thader, number 14, best number in volleyball.
I love learning about what players do outside of the court. There are so many talented players here that don't just play volleyball.
Speaking of which, Emily Thader actually interned for Love Volleyball over the last year, and she worked for them in their marketing department. Said it was fantastic to be valued in a different way, not just as a volleyball player.
100%.
And the reports from Love, I spoke to some Love personnel this afternoon, they were very impressed with her and very happy to have her a part of that professional team on the business side. And happy to have her at the net is Team Caffey. 14 up.
Professional looking blocking right there. That is elite movement from Thader. Low and tight, she's closed up with her block, and she's reading that left arm.
Almost back to back. Touch, and that ball will go over the top and down. Team Dela Cruz will get us to the technical timeout, but more importantly, they will get us closer to Key's classroom. Professor Key is going to enlighten you, raise your volleyball knowledge. Next. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by Tops. 15-14, a tightly contested first set between Team Caffey and Team Dela Cruz Mejia. Maybe one side will gain a little bit of volleyball knowledge, a little insight that'll have them taking this set and this match. Professor Key about to provide it.
Key's court is back in session, Kevin, and on the docket this time we have the people versus Dela Cruz Mejia. The Dominican captain has been able to get away with murder on the draft floor for the 2nd week in a row. Here's the evidence. She herself, the captain, as well as her libero, Manami Kojima, and Lector member Monet have been in the passing unit together. This is the 2nd week in a row. They've only made 1 reception error. Secondly, a new highly suspicious figure is in the mix, Valentin Anderson, who is wanted for 3rd most aces and 4th most digs in the league. And the classic bait and switch, another lefty opposite in Willow Johnson. So this team will run havoc again this week. However, objection, there might be a solution. I'd like to see some strategic serving. I want to see it in this seam right here. Maybe something short here to get the opposite out, or maybe short here to take the middle out of the mix. That is my solution. in this case, the people versus De La Cruz Mejia. Kevin, you've been served.
Is there a federal sentencing guideline that goes along with conviction on this? I'm not really sure. We're going to have to find out. Murder on the draft floor. I like that. For those that are a big fan of, say, British pop rock around 2001, you recognize that play on words. Back to action here, and back to more defense. De La Cruz Mejia, and this time Mary Lake the other way. Where do you go? Johnson back row, middle back, Betania. Welcome back, Sophie Ellis-Bextor, or Key Michael. 16-14. Bug to Payne to the floor.
What do you think of my play on words, Kevin? Murder on the draft floor.
Cracks me up every
Thank
time
you.
I hear it.
I need affirmations on my puns.
Every time. As an appreciator of puns, I love it. That ball is out of bounds. And Emily Thader continues to do positive things for her side, back with that service. 16 up, first set. We're coming off a sweep earlier. Team Nutsara and Team Abercrombie. Disturbingly for Team Nutsara, they've now been swept twice, have not won a set this weekend. For Abercrombie, making a case for the championship for the young opposite number 4 in her first AU season. Her side taking home 180 team points, in addition to another fine performance by the captain. And we're witnessing another good start here for Lecator member Manet. Does she go jump serve or jump float? Jump serve was off last match. Back on now. Temi Thomas-Ailara goes high off the hands.
I like that member Manet went back to that top spin. Like you mentioned, it was not on. A few errors happening in the last match, but that's their strategy. That is just part of their identity on Team Betty De La Cruz.
See our live leaderboard popping in there. Everything being updated as each positive and negative action takes place. That's going to be +8 for Betania De La Cruz and her personal score via that kill. And battle for this first set. Every player on the winning team will receive 40 points added to their own personal score, because this is an individual championship chase. We've had 10 ties in this first set. Jenna Rosenthal finishes that one off.
We didn't see any Rosenthal in the last match. She's made her way back onto the court. She's just consistently delivering in those overpasses, in her presence at the net. Tall, athletic player.
Gabby Blossom into serve, trying to work on Ailara. Ball's tight. Betty trying to push it in. Another tight set. Both sides setting the ball a little bit close to the cable. But that winning point goes to Team Caffey. They will stay in touch here. And remember, Manet either frustrated or a little tight in the right back.
I mean, it's a hustle play all out from her. Just one touch there from Willow, and you're seeing bodies on the floor. That is also the definition here of this Betty's team.
Betty, non-ideal footwork, still huge contact. Betty again. Oh, that's on the scouting report, that roll to the corner. Nearly turned into a point there. Cannot connect to the left. Good chance here. The Big Beth into the angle. That's her handle on Instagram. You want to follow her at the Big Beth.
I thought you were going to say into the angle is her Instagram handle. I mean, she is so good at finding these shots. Look at the way that she cuts that with her wrist first and foremost, and then her shoulder following through. There's just not a lot of space to take, but she'll find it.
Nunaviller off the block, out of bounds.
Rosenthal pretty quiet so far, which is unusual. That's only her 3rd point. We're looking at someone like Emily Thader as the top scorer, 6 points. Caffey also pretty quiet. 0 points so far for the captain.
The Chicago native puts that one into the net. That'll be negative points, as a matter of fact. Service errors can be costly. They are -8. Mayfield pops it up. Payne puts it away.
I like her approach. I like the way that Payne uses her entire arms, kind of like a slow build-up to get as much elevation off the floor that she can. Doesn't necessarily go over the top of the blockers in that instance, but she's getting that height.
A very long 6'3" Kelsey Payne. A compact, powerful 22, member Manet. See, that's how you would address it, Kate.
Compact.
Yeah, you're not undersized,
right.
You're short. What were you doing? What were you doing?
I'm sorry, my mistake.
You don't look a predator in the eye, and you don't say that kind of thing to that kind of hitter. Through the hands, and just out of the reach. Don't say it.
If her arms were a little longer.
Oh no, oh no. Key, you're going down.
I know, I'm gonna be murdered, especially because I could never make that defense myself, no matter how long and gangly my arms are.
Oh boy, hope you're enjoying your final night with Olympian Key Michael. It's all gonna be over after this. 22-21, set 1. Rosenthal to the back row and will serve member Manet. She'll get it right back. Tip into the campfire and good. Deuce is wild.
Still no timeout called. Interesting, considering Caffey's just creeping back into this match. It does look like Caffey's team is trying to strategically serve, though. That was one of the prescriptions that I gave on the board in Key's court.
Well, having talked to facilitator Joe Trinzi before, I can tell you that indeed he did take your prescription to the store. Strategic serving is absolutely part of it. Tip. Manet trying to go down the line. She gets enough of the block. No. Thomas-Ailara, roll shot. Betty, yes, through the equipment and down. That will take the women in black and gold to a set point. Looking to stay unbeaten. They won all 3 of their sets on Friday. High blast into the ceiling, rattling around. Little pinball wizard action. Outside again. Another nice high swing over the small block of Valentin Anderson. All right, second chance to close. If not, we'll go overtime here in the first.
I like how consistent Team Caffey has been. They continue firing away.
Thader skips it through. And put away on the outside by Thomas-Ailara. We are tied here, 24 up.
I love that she's getting some play time. We barely saw her in week 1. She stepped into the last match, made an impact. Now we're seeing a lot more of her. I like it.
Coming off being an impact player for Wisconsin after her time previous to that at Northwestern. So we are at a timeout now by Team De La Cruz Mejia. Gives us a chance to look back at match number 1. We play 2 per night is what we do. And in match number 1, trying to keep pace with Betania De La Cruz Mejia was Brittany Abercrombie in the opposite spot. She did so with her own play, but also with her team side.
Yeah, she was fantastic. No surprise there. 16 points. She had offensive, defensive. She is a lefty. She's cutting those slices down the line. She's going in early. She's hitting high above blockers. This is why she's making a run for Betty's crown. is because she's able to do all of these different things, all those tools in her lefty pocket.
Yeah, and Abercrombie finishes that match with 16 kills. Drews alongside her gets 12 kills, hits 480, and consequently we take a look at the U.S. Air Force MVPs here, and Abercrombie taking home MVP 1, Paige MVP 2, and Drews MVP 3. When you sweep on the board, you sweep the MVPs, and it is cowbell night. That's why you see super producer Bruce Dickinson up there on the big board. Come on out and visit us here in Mesa. You're gonna have a good time, guaranteed. All right, league leaders in kills. A lot of the same names, but Maddie Kingdon-Rischel is probably missing those team wins.
Yeah, she's doing everything she can, but it feels a little bit like she's all alone out there sometimes. She has just as many kills as Brittany Abercrombie. However, this just goes to show, to your point, how important it is to get those wins. Team wins are more important than personal points when it comes to being on the leaderboard.
They are hugely important, and it's important for you to get closer to the action with your free Unlimited Club membership. Vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes, and you can do even more. Sign up now at auprovolleyball.com. Go ahead and join the Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball family and the broader spectrum that is Athletes Unlimited. Softball, basketball, lacrosse, all part of the Athletes Unlimited brand that you want to opt into for year-round entertainment and excellence. We are experiencing some excellence here, and that includes Joe Trinzi's mustache you just saw as we get to extra time here in our first set. 4 service errors for the blue-clad Team CAFI, 3 for the captain. And we will see if they can remain at the line here. They scored a couple to hold off 2 set points for Team Dela Cruz. I believe it's Emily Thader still at the line. Number 14 will step back.
A lot of pressure on her right now because we saw a couple of service errors in a row, which might have cost the blue side this set. However, a couple of strategic serves here. I'd like to see one maybe short. Get Karis Watson out of the offense.
The last miss, they were trying to go short.
Yeah,
they risk it again. Thader drives this one. Gets him off the net. Monet just goes straight power heater. Nunneviller getting hazard pay. Cash in the check is Payne.
Team play right now for CAFI's team. First of all, this defense, Nunneviller sacrificing the body to keep it in play. And there it is, that 1-2 punch. Nunneviller, Payne, really playing off each other this week.
Nunneviller looks like she didn't put sunscreen on her throat as the ace is issued right away. That is how you close. Brooke Nunneviller stands in, stands strong, and Emily Thader comes back with a flex in the finish.
Service pressure from the blue side. This is the way that you put pressure on Betty's team. It's looking good. 26-24 is how it ends.
finish.
Called it, Kevin. Was she going to go aggressive? Was she going to be soft with it, go a little short one? She went all out, as she had done the entire match. And I love seeing a middle as an impact player. She's the top scorer right now for Team Caffey, and this is how she's been doing it. Quick available on that 1 foot behind, getting those arms over to shut down Willow Johnson, the lefty, and then pressure from the service line, confidence from the middle blocker.
3 of the blocks out of the 4 for Team Caffey belong to Emily Thader.
Hey, she must be doing something right here. But I love talking about how volleyball all works together. Yes, she'll get that point. She'll get the stats for those blocks. But it starts with the serve, and it then follows up with your team being in the right place at the right time. The defenses that we've seen out of none other that are contributing to the kills than you're seeing there. I mean, there's a lot working on this Caffey side, and it was just enough to get them past, because I don't think that Betty De La Cruz's side was playing poorly. Just those last couple of points.
There is a lot working. 5 kills, hitting 440. Kelsey Payne, let's go into the game with the U.S. Air Force and number 20 in blue.
Oh, look at us. The day we finally got it. Good set. Ah! Caution. I was like, what's that? Are we blocking? I was like, I'm gonna use this whole broadcast to just talk about my boyfriend. Literally. Like, I miss him. The Rizzler. Yes, Kayla! Has to go over the net. You have to serve it over the net. Silly. No. Up two. Yes, watch that or down.
I hope Kelsey's boyfriend is watching wherever he is in the world. Big shout out.
I love the solid sage volleyball advice from the longtime pro now. The serve is supposed to go over the net.
Oh, yeah.
If only you had told me earlier.
I mean, sometimes you just need it spelled out. Sometimes. I think blue is the one that needs to take that advice. They were the ones who missed a couple of serves.
They did. They came back from that, though, with a 2-point victory and 40 team points. Remember, those team points are 60% of your overall in general by the time you get to the end of the season. So picking those up is important throughout the year. 40 team points for everyone on that side. And they also lead in the overall now. 26-24s. We'll start to keep track of that aggregate score. It's how we determine a winner. Rosenthal off the top of the block. Set over. Natalia in a disguise.
She was one of the suspects I talked about on the board. She was so crucial and has been and continues to be in different areas, not just in setting the ball, in her defense, in her aces, and in that second ball contact. That's why she's an absolute weapon for this side.
That leaderboard popping up. How big was that victory loom in the championship chase? That victory by Team Caffey. Think about the chase between Bethany De La Cruz and Brittany Abercrombie. Abercrombie swept today. De La Cruz already down 1. Can't get a swing here. She'll pop it over. Oh, clever back set. Rosenthal turn and burn off of that. Johnson cannot find the floor yet. Betty, short approach. Brooke. Lecator is shut down. League leading Caffey adds another to her total. 17.
I think even the blue side, Caffey's team, all a little bit shocked about how good that block was too. But this is what is standing out to me, is that Betty's team has not been dominant as we expected that they might be through this weekend. But Team Caffey is absolutely staying in it.
Natalia checks down and then flies. Payne runs into that open court. Take a swing. Willow Johnson will oblige. Did she get the touch? No. Ball is out. But in the chair chat, is Timmy Thomas-Ailara. Timmy, welcome.
Hello.
You're getting a lot of playing time here.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's fun.
Yeah, what is different about playing in this league than any of your previous experience, pro or collegiate?
Definitely the fact that the teams change every week. I'm playing with new girls every week, girls I played against in PVF, a few who I watched on TV when I was growing up. And so it's been really fun meeting everyone, playing with them.
Temmie, I know your brother played football at Vanderbilt. Is he watching? And if so, what would he be saying about your game right now?
He's definitely watching. I've been playing. Hi, Tolu. I've been playing volleyball for a long time, and he still doesn't really understand it very much. So he's just like, she's hitting pretty good.
Did he help carry the goalpost into the river?
I'm not sure. Probably. I bet he did. He loved playing football there, so I bet he did everything he could.
So you come from a sporting family. What are family events like? Are we competing at cards? Are we competing in other games? What's happening?
So my mom always plays us in table tennis. She's really good, and my brother and I are really bad. So I think I'm on a 11-1 losing streak against her, and she goes easy on me. And I'm like, no, go hard, go hard. And so I've lost a lot of games, like 21-6. But I'm getting better, she says.
Well, I feel like there's plenty of other things that you are good at volleyball, one of them, but also you studied biomedical engineering. I mean, what does it take to be a high-level athlete, but also study something so impressive like that?
It was definitely hard, but it was really fun. I really enjoyed my degree. I enjoyed the people I met, all the projects I worked on. It was an awesome time, but definitely had to figure out time management.
Yeah. And how does that pursuit influence your approach to volleyball, the mental side of volleyball?
I think I'm very kind of strategic with serve. I think I'm very strategic with how I play. I think a lot in my head, watch a lot of film, do a lot of numbers. And I think it's made me a very kind of mathematical in the way I play.
All right, well, there wasn't a lot to calculate on that last serve. It was pure viciousness from Betania de la Cruz. Temmie, thanks for joining us for a bit.
Of course.
We'll see you back out there.
See you.
All right, they handle the serve this time. Does Team Cafe. Kojima, nice left hand. Member Monet, she takes a big cut too. It's almost as though the solution to losing that last set is just to hit the ball harder every single time for Team de la Cruz Mejia.
Well, it's either that or more cowbell. Which one?
Every time more cowbell is the solution. We know this, that's established, especially on cowbell night. It's gonna sound like Eurosport ski jumping in here in a second. We have a challenge here. Betania de la Cruz saying the other team is a bunch of fish.
Going swimming in the net. I'm not sure that I saw that, but here's what you can challenge if you're a captain. Ball in or out, block touch, service line, foot fault, and center line fault.
All right, well, no fault detected there. The ball will remain with Team Cafe. Yeah, what a couple of weeks of college football it's been, right? You had the Vanderbilt defeat of Alabama and the goalpost being marked on Google Maps as in the river. And then this last weekend, last night, Oregon taking on Ohio State, battle of 2 and 3. And the Duck crowd surfing the students after Oregon won. Slice inside. The Duck gets the kill there. You know, Willow Johnson was tuned in last night to that exciting game. Number of Ducks out here. Brooke Nuneviller on the other side. We just saw Lindsay van der Weide as well. What a program being run up there by Matt Ulmer. Be seeing him in a couple weeks when I'm on campus. Looking forward to that. There it is. Oh, that's a whole lot of Duck heat. Into the middle to Watson. Good night now.
All right, Jenna Rosenthal, where have you been in the defense? None of it thought that was down. Jenna said, not yet. Middle's defense, I'm here. And then who comes in? Firing, Watson. Big bang to the right side. Oof, I love it.
Rosenthal serve. Does she have another dig in her? Nati has one. How about a set for Jenna? Bet he's seen that move before. Lekator looking line and winning. 7-4.
Member Monet trying to do something a little different, because here's what her team is doing to keep the ball alive. Nati, and we talked about how she is valuable in ways other than just setting, but I love Lekator Member Monet trying something different. She's been going harder, harder, harder. This time, slice the line.
6-1 run. Team De La Cruz Mejia. Brooke. Dug by Nati. Willow clears him out, uses the pause. Lake straight up. Backside delivery, stuffed back in her face. I hate those. Hated those. Right back. I don't mind getting blocked, but right in your own face is the worst feeling ever.
I mean, that's the best feeling ever, if you ask me. I mean, that was all Lekator Member Monet, but as a middle blocker, those are the feelings. You gotta let the other team know that you're there, and you are not backing down. If they're gonna swing right into you, that's what has to happen.
Team De La Cruz Mejia has let Team Caffey know that they are there. They've doubled up. Timeout, Team Caffey.
Hi everyone, it's Kat. Taking over the vlog right now. If you don't know, now you know.
You go, girl. You're so natural. But I wanted to ask you, what was the one thing that you were most looking forward to coming to play at Athletes?
I was really, really excited about coming here and just being able to play with all the girls.
I felt like I made some really great connections and friends.
I think I was really looking forward to just being like in the sisterhood of Athletes Unlimited once again.
That's a great way to describe it.
I love the people. I love the organization.
I watched AU all the years, so it was finally nice to meet them and get to know them.
Playing with these amazing girls, I feel like we bring in a good group every year. I just love to be here with you and everybody.
Watch them interact with each other and be excited to be here.
Just seeing my friends again and Taco Tuesdays with the girls, just the simple things.
The vibes are vibing, so we love that.
The vibes are vibing.
The vibes are vibing.
Same as year one. Feel so lucky to be here.
I'm obsessed that you're back. Never leave.
They'll have to drag me away from here.
8-4 second set. And a separation of just 2 points in our overall. You and Cammie there doing a lot of good work as usual. Quick, who am I? Who am I? Who am I?
You look like a vlogger. But
Tori
I just
Dixon?
need you to know. Oh, you're Tori. I need you to know the vibes are vibing here at Athletes Unlimited, Kevin. If you didn't already know, now you know.
Okay, well that should be the T-shirt next. The vibes are vibing. That's what you have to do. That should be the next shirt.
I'll be
that's
right.
Athletes Unlimited. All right, I want it. I want it for next week. The vibes are vibing. Hit me up. Come on. All right, hope you're enjoying our coverage here. 30-30 in our overall score. You have to start keeping track of that overall score, because that's what matters for those 60 team points and the overall victory on the scoreboard. Rosenthal going down the line to Lake. She fights it off perfectly, and Payne nearly stuffed. Johnson the other way. She'll got it.
Johnson, that puzzle piece. The left-handed opposite was Brittany Abercrombie last week. This week, it's Willow Johnson. And she's finally getting a chance to show what she can do. She didn't really get a chance to play on her side last week.
I had the X factors we talked about on Friday, right? Mayfield was one of those X factors. She is on Team Caffey as that ball is popped up by Thader and put away by Nunaviller. So Team Caffey had Mayfield go 2 kills, 3 errors on 17. We'll update her numbers in just a second in this one. For Team De La Cruz, the X factor, as you mentioned, Willow Johnson had 9 kills, hit 267, was a huge contributor for Team De La Cruz Mejia. And right now, if I go over to Team Caffey and take a look, we're looking for Allison Mayfield. No kills, playing along the back row, right? Temi Thomas-Ailara in the front row for her right now. Karis Watson. Should we put an X with her? Maybe she's the new X factor.
Could be. I was impressed with her in week 1. I think she did a fantastic job stepping up and kind of delivering. Like you mentioned, last year we didn't see a whole lot of offensive production. Now, when she does get that ball, she's doing damage.
Ailara targeted. She's up to the challenge. Tips it in front. Monet blasting it. Crowd sucking the air out of the gym. Blasting again, edge out, smartly done.
I feel like Thomas-Ailara Monet plays with a little chip on her shoulder. Do you see the same thing?
Yes, I do, and I love every second of it. That is my style of volleyball.
Yeah, and especially we saw her with a couple of errors there in that middle of the last set. Now she's just finding ways to score. We saw some tips, some rolls. Now Johnston with an ace.
This is that team who can put a lot of service pressure on you.
I love that about Betty's picks. She chooses players that with that first contact, they want to make you play.
4 aces, and if you're following the story, you know how many service errors they have? 0. Oh.
Kevin.
Take that, the announcer's curse thrown right on Willow Johnson. 4-1.
Well, if you look at it on the other side, it's 4 errors and 1 ace.
That is unexcellent symmetry if you're Team Cafe. That 1 ace belongs to this woman, number 14. Lekator, she is just ticked off. I think between sets, I heard people relaying what you said about her directly to her, so.
I'm pretty sure I was just repeating what I heard in an interview.
I was talking about the short stuff. Remember Monet playing big. Wow. Beautiful dig, Minami Kojima. They'll need another. Tip, Johnson all over it. Delivered back to Watson. Caffey eventually slices that one for the winner.
What a rally. I kept watching that thinking the gold side were in control the entire time. Tipping on the setter, getting a free ball, running the middle. Good work by Caffey's side to flip the tables.
They still trail here. Overpass, redirected. Payne puts it away. Now keep watching that overall score because it is 13-8 in the set, but it's 37-34. They're within 3 of the overall our Team Cafe. They had a 2-point advantage coming out of that 26-24 win in the first. Maddie Bug to the line, the former Stanford star. Over the top. Good touch by the block, controlled. Valentin Anderson scoops it to Kojima. And it is sliced off. That is deli shaved by number 81 in black.
Betty, wow. She is one of the few players on court that can do this. Floating away, nobody's blocking, and just with the wrist is able to slice it away.
Hand contact. We're gonna see Bethany De La Cruz on the beach shortly.
Oh yeah.
She'll play another 10 years on the beach, no problem. Into the middle, dug up by the serving sub, Gabby Blossom. Trying to go for the reset. Doesn't get it. Middle, Caffey, yes.
Caffey's someone I'd like to see a little more of. She has only had 3 or 4 attempts to attack in the entire match so far. As the captain, I'd be looking at my setter and saying, more please, much more.
Would you say please?
Nah,
Okay.
yeah, I would.
Good pass, backslide, Rosenthal. More middle,
Please.
touch and in, 15-9. Please.
There it is. Manners first, Kevin, you know? Even on the volleyball court.
Never on the volleyball court. Not ever. Not today, not tomorrow, not back then. Boombaye. That's what you get. Ball's tight, low, and blocked. Jenna Rosenthal sealing the deal. 40-35, that overall score. De La Cruz Mejia with the lead.
That's the first block so far for Rosenthal. I think she gets a bit lucky there. That final little push ball could have very easily landed out or on her own side.
One person's luck is another person's skill. Valentin Anderson to serve. Lake lays down, perfect pass, and that is a beautiful, beautiful attack. wrist away.
I was watching the serve thinking, great serve. A lot of pressure there, but like just handling it. Ball goes right on the head of the setter. Perfect delivery.
Caffey, a special one that time.
This was one of my points over at the whiteboard. If I eloquently got to say what I wanted to say, was between that seam between Lector member Monet and Kojima is a weakness. And they've gotten a couple of aces there already.
They've given up their first 2 aces as a triumvirate there, receiving serve in this match. There are 2 aces now for Team Caffey. Not even with the touch, but the ball disappeared out of view for Fader.
In contrast, the second serve goes to Betty. It's going high. They're trying to push her deep, but she's so good with her hands. She passes that ball absolutely perfectly. Why wouldn't you just hammer that seam all day long between the other 2 passers, not Betty?
Especially just when you got an ace.
Exactly.
100% agreed. Attack the same person again. Betty's going to attack it. Not a lot of spin on that thing. And it is not playable. Benet down the line, just wide.
Ooh, Betty looked extra frustrated there, I think because she's now no longer on the line. She did her work, an aggressive serve, got a free ball back. She's thinking, okay, I'm gonna get a couple points in a row here. The error, now she's off the line.
All right, changes on the other side. Double sub coming in. Marley Monserrat checks in with Becca Latham. Latham adding some size, 6'4", 27-year-old opposite. Wearing number 78, she'll go to the right front. Matching up with member Monet. They'll go the other way. Fader got it. Here comes the matchup. Over the top, off the defense, and out of play.
Remember, Monet has 26 attack opportunities so far. 26 times she's been set. 10 she's killed.
And with authority. Rosenthal is served, 42-38, our overall score. Mayfield, good pass. Nunaviller, no. Rosenthal. And her dig pays off again. Self-sacrifice there. She's not happy about it, but she got it.
I love when the middle stays on the line. Good defensive work there.
Well, we've seen a driven ball dig. We've seen a tip dig. We've seen a block. Jenna Rosenthal contributing all around the score sheet. That score runs to 19-12, and it's timeout Team Caffey. They have now used both. Our returning champion from 2022 is Betania de la Cruz Mejia, and a lot of the players knew coming in that she might be the player to beat.
Who's gonna win this season? I don't know. Betty's tough to beat, right?
I'm gonna say Betty, but hopefully I'm close behind.
I think Betty's gonna win this season.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with my girl Betty de la Cruz. Always hard to bet against Betty de la Cruz.
I'm gonna go for Betty again.
She can score literally anytime she wants, and she's a great passer, and she does all the skills really, really well.
She has such a great volleyball IQ, great power, an amazing serve, great defense, great blocking. She's like all around a really balanced athlete in volleyball.
Of course, I will do my best to win, but we have so many good players, so it will be really interesting this season.
Interesting that all those players said Betty and not themselves. What would you have said, Kevin?
I was waiting for somebody to say themselves. We've had that in years past. Yeah, I definitely would have said myself.
I think Leah Edmond said herself when she was interviewed on that.
And she was right. She was our 2023 champion, Leah Edmond. An outstanding performance last year. Betania de la Cruz Mejia, our champion in 22. Of course, Jordan Larson, the inaugural season down there in Dallas, the winner in that year. And she has won 4 Olympic medals, including 2 silvers, a gold, and a bronze.
Betty de la Cruz, no Olympic medals, but several Olympic appearances, including in Paris recently.
Yeah, it's always funny how people divide themselves. Do you divide yourself by Olympics or by Olympic medals? And how are you defined? Betania de la Cruz, any way you define her, is an absolutely stellar and legendary volleyball athlete now at 37 years old and still doing it at a world-class level. 7 kills, 8 digs in this one thus far. All right, if you want to rep Betania de la Cruz, or you want to rep Jenna Rosenthal, or maybe it's Natalia Valentin Anderson, the AU Pro Shop has you covered. The entire 2024 roster has youth and adult sizes. Go ahead and check out our store at shop.auprosports.com. And if you're here in Mesa, we have a pro sports shop here at the Arizona Athletic Grounds. Come on down, try on your merch, and enjoy. We're going to have the Vibes or Vibin' shirt come out maybe mid-season here at Key. We're going to see if the merch team can get on that.
I'm going to go pick up a couple of shirts in the merch shop, I think, after this.
I might just take one of everything.
Buy, Kevin, not take. Buy. I'll be watching you.
TBD, TBD.
Sticky fingers, Kevin, is what they call you.
19-13 in this set. Valentin Anderson delivers to Watson. She is dug. Double sub still on for Team Caffey. Watson again out of bounds. Defense pays for the women in blue. They're within 3 in the overall.
And again, this is what they did in set number 1. They just kept there. They stayed consistent. They didn't let Betty's team run away with it. They ended up getting across the line first. Could they do the same thing in the second set?
Fought off 2 set points in that first set. Johnson forced to deal with a less than ideal opportunity, and she is up to the challenge.
Less than ideal is a good way of putting it. I'm surprised to see the servers go on Betty, but they go short on her in that case. Not long. She's taking the ball with her hands really easily. Make her go short. Make her get on the floor. Then Willow's really the only outlet there in that situation.
Willow Johnson had an exceptional Pac-12 career up there in Oregon. Good touch this time. Outside, back row. Johnson puts it through the block and down. Good to see Willow Johnson performing at a high level. A couple of seasons ago, unable to finish due to injury. Came on strong in the latter half of last year. I think still recovering from some issues, and now having a strong 2024 campaign with 44 in black. Tough pass, popped high in the middle, no one attacking, but they got it to a spot. Mayfield redirects for the winner, and here they come again.
Love that up by Kojima. She makes it look kind of magical when she defends, because I'm sitting here on the line. It looks like that ball is done and dusted. She comes out of nowhere to pop that up.
I wonder if she's in the Japanese volleyball manga. They have that over in Japan. Books, cartoon, everything all about the sport.
In the haiku. Do you watch that?
On the back line, good. No, is it Black Clover is one? My younger son's way into
Haikyuu is the really famous one.
Oh, I thought that was like, what is it, Side Door or something? No.
I mean, I don't watch it, but I don't know it very well, but I've heard of it.
Okay.
I'm sure the fans know.
Blowing us up right now. Ball in or out now, challenged by Team Caffey. Remember, 2 challenges per team per set. We saw one factor in set number 1, and that ball quickly reversed. Team Caffey taking the point.
Good swing there, perfectly placed, and it's just over Johnson and De La Cruz. So again, just going to show, it's not always just about power in this sport. It's finding that end line, finding the sidelines.
Becca Latham picks up the point. She's looking for a block now. Not this time. Monet putting some serious angle on it.
Remember, Monet's been asked to do a lot in this match. Typically, it's Betty who's getting the majority of the attacks, and then everyone else is kind of playing second fiddle. Tonight, it feels like Member Monet has taken a lot of this load.
Monet, 27 attempts, 22 for Johnson, 19 for Betania, but she has more than doubled her output percentage-wise, and Member Monet has doubled up on the speed from the service line. She collects the ace there. Lecator Member Monet adding to her totals with her second ace. and no errors in this match.
Huge serve there. Brooke Dunneviller's got some unlucky shakes of the ball so far.
Need some Advil after this one. Memberman gets a hold of another, and it nearly clears the reception a second time. That should go down as an ace. 24-16, set point. We've seen her end a set previously last week. Lekator ripping. I'll bet she goes for it again. She's in rhythm here.
Betty giving her the green light. Absolutely. Distracted by the cowbells in the audience.
It got quiet here for a second, yeah.
Well, I still like her going for that serve. I think Lekator Memberman has an aggressive personality on the volleyball court. Even in that high pressure situation, go for it.
Especially with that kind of lead. 24-17, second chance to close. Outside, Betty. Over the top, into the corner, off of the defense, and this second set is history at 25-17. No comeback this time for Team Caffey as Team Dela Cruz shuts the door, and they will head into the third set leading 49-43, having split our first two sets. Heading into the third set, 49-43 is the lead for Team Dela Cruz Mejia. Their magic number is 20. They need 20 points in this set to go ahead and take the overall victory. Big part of the offense has been what we thought was an X factor coming in. The X has turned into the spot where the treasure is marked with number 44, Willow Johnson.
She was hitting at 27% yesterday, 10 points, and now she has turned it on even more. Only 3 points in the first set, now up to 8. So it's not about necessarily getting that consistency all across the board, but when she's needed, she is turning it on. I love the way she's getting angles. Again, we talk about that lefty on the right side, what she's able to produce, but also from the right side, also from the pipe. A little bit of everything out of Willow Johnson tonight. 2
aces, 1 block, and 8 kills for Willow Johnson, feeding into these stats through 2 sets. What's jumping for you, Key Michael? We've had split sets.
I love that we're seeing defense out of both. You're seeing about the same in the digs. Kills much more. Dela Cruz Mejia are just terminating the ball more often. I still like to see that defense on Caffey's side. They're 5-3 right now in the blocks, but Dela Cruz has been putting that pressure from the service line. We're seeing much more offensive action, and they're able to get some defense and get those transition plays because of that first contact that we've seen from Betty's team. She loves a strong serving team, and she's getting it tonight.
Gold side is getting some offense, getting some transition plays. You need to get on over to the AU Sports shop. AU Pro Sports now on Instagram, the best way to stay up to date on the new arrivals, limited edition items, and the exclusive merch offerings. Head on over to AU Pro Shop and follow to connect with the league as we get some fun here. Azkaban.
Where's that?
You don't know where Azkaban is?
Alcatraz?
No, that would be a prison outside of San Francisco that is no longer happening. Azkaban would be a prison that exists, you know. Well, you're a muggle. Never mind. You're a muggle. You wouldn't know. I'm not going to bother explaining how it works.
Harry Potter reference?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Hopefully he didn't bring any Dementors hunting him to our place here. I don't want to have an encounter with a Dementor, but if I did, I would want Joe Trinzi and his mustache defending me. That's what I would want. If someone is going to go Expelliarmus or cast a Patronus, something like that, it would be Joe Trinzi be my first pick. There he is. There he is. He'll be at the Magic Castle in the second week in November. After we're done here, he'll be performing tableside if you want to go there and get your tickets and meet up with Joe.
I am loving the addition of the mustache. I have to say that's a huge improvement on season 2. Or season 1 he was with us, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But we were wearing masks all the time. I don't think I ever saw his face looked like.
He and Troy Field of AVP Beach fame could do battle in the best mustache condition. competition. All right, back to the actual competition. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michaels. We get set for our third set. Should be tightly contested if the first two sets are any indication. A little move at the end of that second set allowed Team De La Cruz to pull away, but it's been close through most of it. 49-43, just 6 points up, 100 points still available here. Team points in our third set. Vader dug up. High ball, Nuneviller trying to chip the edge, doesn't find it. Johnson goes deep corner. Betania inside, dug up by Nuneviller off the net. Payne. Set over, Lake was reading it. Left-handed tip across the top, finally does it.
How do you like that for a first point? A rally back and forth. I wasn't timing it, but it felt like at least a couple minutes.
I'd respond to your question, but I am out of oxygen after that.
Yeah, seriously. And we're just sitting here watching.
Our leaderboard coming in, those are live updating points. Look at that at the top, 1672, 1569. That gives you an idea just how big these 100 points that are available in this third set really are for Betania De La Cruz Mejia in that championship chase, trying to stay ahead of Brittany Abercrombie. She was leading coming in over Abercrombie. It was almost turning into a two-woman race already. Coming into tonight, it was plus 81 for De La Cruz Mejia over Abercrombie. Next was Member Mine, and closely followed by Manami Kojima.
A lot of changes.
Oh yeah, long road to go, both this weekend as well as over the course of our next few weeks of competition. Remember, this runs 5 weeks. 5 weeks in a row of competition between all of these athletes. We draft new teams every single Tuesday. They come and play Friday, Sunday, and Monday. Johnson inside the block, winner. It's not enough to keep pace here for Team Caffey. They're going to need to score if they want to get that overall. Bad pass. Free ball. Better opportunity this time. Nuneviller off the pin, and that will be a hitting error. Nuneviller immediately indicating that was me.
Well, that's a tough ball. Ball going a little wide. She's coming fast. She's expected that ball a little more inside. She's then jumping backwards to try and make up for it. The antenna just getting in the way.
That'll keep Rosenthal at the line. Caffey, boy, her speed laterally is impressive. And her speed when she's approaching on that back slide, it's as though she's nowhere near the ball, and then she runs it down.
Yeah, that's what you kind of have to do as a middle. You're almost like a sneak attack back there. You want to go slow, 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 and then explode off those last couple of steps. Try and beat anyone on the other side from getting in front of you.
Inside, speaking of things that explode, the right shoulder of Lekator Member Mine. Jenna Rosenthal is joining us. Jenna, what would you do if you had to face that 22 right now?
I'm just happy that I don't. No, Lek really flies super, super high, so I'd probably start trying to cheat and get in front of her a little earlier, but, excuse me, I'm still tired. Natalia does a great job of setting the offense, so I don't know what you can do, especially when we're in the system.
All right, you guys had the lead in the first. You gave it back after a couple of set point opportunities. The second you extended. What has been the message from Betty throughout as captain as she's tried to get you through this match?
She's had great confidence in us as volleyball players, and she has been working to remind us of that ourselves. We're all good volleyball players. We know how to do our jobs, and we have it within us. Also, service pressure. Service pressure always helps a ton.
So many things that help. Jenna, I wanted to ask you about being a middle specifically in this league. How do you kind of judge what you're going to do? Oh, that's a great block by Watson, first of all.
We need to hype up up our other middles here.
That was Member
awesome.
Monet. That was her left hand. You middles always trying to steal everything.
Okay, you've got a better angle than I do.
How do you make sure that you're going to have a good connection with your setter when you have so little time to work with them?
I don't know. It just goes back to your basics, kids. Slow to fast, have a really ready arm, and all of our setters here are fantastic. So you know they're going to give you a good ball.
What do you think is going to decide this third set?
It comes down to grit. It comes down to fight, right? Anything can happen at any given moment, and that's cool. That'll help a lot as well.
All right, thanks, Jenna.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
So cool getting to chat with a player who's literally just come off the court right into the chair. This is something you don't get in any other sport, any other volleyball league, for sure. I know she's still out of breath, though. I know what she feels right now.
Was that ball up? Might be questioned. That one's definitely up. Both teams a little discombobulated. Dig over, this should provide an opportunity. Betty. Covered. Returning with that shot she loves down the line.
Zero discombobulation out of Betty on that one.
I feel like Nunneviller was even there.
Yeah.
She knew the shot was coming. It's just Betty hit it so close to the line.
How about that cover as well by Alexa Member Monet? They're such a dynamic duo, the two of them, and it's not just in the attack. The little things like covering your hitter.
Through the cable, overpass. Johnson, full head of steam, nothing. Ailara showing her physicality on the left. Temi Thomas-Ailara getting her first extended action in this match and responding in kind for her team. She now is hitting right about 400.
She's right there with Nunneviller, the two of them pretty much similar in their numbers.
Yeah, 6 kills on 16, and at first you don't succeed. Jump a little bit higher and dump the ball quicker.
Just jump higher.
Yeah,
the solution.
That's what Natalia Valentin-Anderson just did. She had come from a lower point before, this time on the run. She dumps it over and good. Gabby Blossom will step in. They have scored with her at the line. That specially made ball from Baden. Players really enjoying it. Missed connection there. That'll probably go down as a setting error. And in fact, those are negative points for the setters. I mean, negative 12 that time for Maddie Bug.
That's rough, because I think she made the right choice there to try and force the middle. She's a bit low, but there certainly wasn't a block on it.
Ailara again over the top of the block. Lake scoops one, and it is just long. But here's how important these team points really are, as 59-48 becomes the score for De La Cruz Mejia. In the last match, it was a sweep. Team Abercrombie had a total of 2,714 points as a group. Everybody, team points, individual points. 529 was the total for everyone added together on the other side for Nutsara. You can fall behind in a hurry if you're getting swept.
Yeah.
Not getting those team points. Betty. Blocked again. Thader plus 12.
Betty clapping her hands saying, all right, what can you do? I love that block. Watch the movement from Thader. She's up early. She reaches away from her outside hitter, and that's where Betty's having a lot of success, is that cutaway shot we talked about. Thader reading it really well this time.
Rosenthal back the other way.
Oh, I recognize her from the chair chat.
Yeah, talking to us to getting kills.
And I asked her, you know, how the blockers have to stay with her, and Betty De La Cruz, of all people, gets a one-on-one.
Dow Jones Mejia to serve. Dig there from the captain. And her opposite puts it away. Remember, their magic number in this set is 20. They are at 13 right now. They're looking for that overall victory, looking for those team points. Betty appears to be staying aggressive.
She's going straight down the middle.
Yes, she does. Can anyone chase it down? No, they can't. Count it. Ace service again, plus 12 individually. 14 total on the board for her team in this set, and 63 in the overall.
What makes her serve so dangerous is the precision in addition to the power. She knows she wants to target that seam between the two outside hitters, but in addition, she's able to put some speed on it. Not a lot of players can do that in combination.
It also doesn't come with much spin. That's her 11th ace of the season, followed by an error, but damage done.
Yeah, that's a good point. For a top spin server, minimal on the spin.
Yeah.
Kind of a hybrid there.
Overhead, Johnson. She's had a hot hand lately, dug by Payne. Remember Monet. Dug by Lake. Lake again, second time. 10 points in the rally for her. Does she get more? That ball left inside, tipped over the top. Lekator not happy about where she put that one. She'll get a shot here, perhaps. It is tough to get a kill in Mesa.
We had front row seats to the miscommunication there.
Thrill in the crowd. It's 15-8. Technical timeout.
Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by Tops.
When a city needs saving, when a set needs winning, raise the Betty signal to call in the dynamic duo. Betania de la Cruz Mejia and Lekator Member Monet. They've been doing work once again, this dynamic crew, for the gold side.
Well, every Batman needs a Robin, and they are the perfect combination. They have not let each other down, and you can see it when they get on the court together in their eyes how much they want to win this match. There is nothing standing between them and those points.
Who's their Alfred? I only know one person with an English accent here, so probably has to be you.
Is it Pickle?
It is not Statsman Pickle. It is you. All right. As we get into the waning moments here of set 3, we have an opportunity to tell you about the all-new AU Pro Athlete Marketplace. It's a hub for businesses and fans to engage with the AU athletes directly in a variety of individual NIL-style activities. If you want to learn more, go to auprosports.com/marketplace to see how you can support your favorite athletes today. See how they can add value for you. 15-8 here, value being added. They are 5 away from the overall, and maybe going to take another set here. Team De La Cruz Mejia. That ball inside, dug up by Lecator, member Monet. This time it's off the block. So one angle, one line. Nunaviller showing you some range.
I like that from Nunaviller, but I even more so love the scrappy play of Lecator, member Monet. She just had a little scoop there to keep the ball in play. Nunaviller starting to take all the offense on her shoulders again.
9 kills for Brooke Nunaviller. She'll have to use the offensive duties from middle back at this point. 2 aces for Team Caffey and now 5 errors. On the other side, it's 6 aces to the same 5 errors. Willow Johnson has a pair of those. Another bad pass. Payne will chip it. Member Monet nearly had it in front of Nunaviller. Thomas-Ailara elevating.
Love that dig from Nunaviller. We talk a lot about her and her libero skills. Formerly wearing that jersey, and it really, you see it when she gets that kind of ball up. But Thomas-Ailara, just a bright spark in this match tonight.
Can expect we'll see her tomorrow when we play again. That ball kept alive and then put away. But Danya De La Cruz is challenging. That ball is down immediately. She's out with the captain's challenge. That'll be her first one of the set. 2 per team per set. This will be number 1 for De La Cruz Mejia.
I tend to agree with her from where I'm sitting. And again, we saw that in the last match. I think it was Maddie Kingdon-Rischel who claimed to have the ball up. But the compression of the ball is something you got to pay attention to. That's the first thing that'll touch.
All right.
Got to have all fingers under it.
It's my favorite challenge music yet, little Miley Cyrus. Let's take a look.
No.
That ball down.
And in addition, that contact by Maddie Bug afterwards, a little questionable.
Kelsey Payne disagrees. We'll be showing her some video. Who was our player in the first match? I think we have a lot of video to review.
Kingdon-Rischel, yeah.
Okay, all right. So Maddie and Kelsey, you'll have a review. It'll be at Bottle and Bean tomorrow morning at about 8:30. We'll have lattes. It'll be lovely. Remember Monet to the line again. She has been in rhythm. That continues to be so. And Semi Thomas-Ailara continues to excel at the net.
This is what's interesting as well about Athletes Unlimited. Some players you won't see at all in week 1. Then you start to see them. Stock rising for Thomas-Ailara.
Johnson scoops. Betty delivers. All right, side out there for Betania De La Cruz Mejia and her side. They are 2 away from the overall at 18-11. How would you rate Team Caffey's ability to put service pressure on Team De La Cruz Mejia that you said was so critical coming in? Give them a grade, Professor Key.
They did so well in the end of the first set, but they've strayed away from what's working. What was working was finding that seam, maybe going those short balls, but putting it back onto Betty, not the solution. That one, however, big stuff block, always the solution.
Oh, Emily Fader is another person who's having an outstanding match. A couple of women in the blue jerseys are definitely watching their draft stock go way up.
And have a look at her movement. She is basically ignoring everyone else on the court. Her feet and her whole body is already in front of Betty.
Yeah, is she the second middle off the board at this point?
Would she be in the draft, you mean?
Yeah, maybe third. Third might be a better measure. That ball deep and does find the floor for Brooke Nunaviller. I'm thinking McCage, I'm thinking Caffey.
I think McCage and Rosenthal were the first 2 middles taken, then Tori Dixon.
Well, and then Caffey was a captain.
Caffey was a captain, yeah.
Right. I'm thinking she jumps up.
Yeah. She was impressive in week 1 as well. Even in the scrimmages, she was one of my players to watch for good reason.
All right, come find out. Savannah Collins and I will be on the draft. That's 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. on the East Coast, Tuesday mornings. Thrown over the top. That one looked like it came up. Remember, Monet, another dig. That's +5. Johnson rips it. +8 for that winner. Woo! And they've gone all the way to a match ball. Remember, the match ball can happen in the middle of this third set. It's not always at the end because there's a separate set award. But they are at 19 now. They need 20.
Willow Johnson, another one of those players. We talked about Member Monet playing with a bit of a chip on her shoulder. Willow Johnson as well, after not getting the starting role last week. She's jumping into it this time.
All right, for the set. Pardon me, for the match. The overall victory. Yes, there it is. +60 for Team Dela Cruz. Hugely important points for every player on that team, particularly for the captain, chasing Brittany Abercrombie. Trying to get back into that #1 slot she occupied coming into tonight. Abercrombie's team put up a sweep. This would be, for Team Dela Cruz, 140 team points if they can win this set to go along with the overall they just added. Payne. Doug. Not a great opportunity for Betty. Back flipper. Reset. Bug in a washing machine. Block. 2 contacts, third. That one is still good. No, it was let go, but they're going to call 4 contacts. I'm not sure about that, actually.
Well, we have a moment. What does bug in a washing machine mean? I know I'm not the only one thinking that.
That's when Maddie Bug had to make 3 plays in a row where she had to keep spinning around to try and get herself oriented to the ball because the ball went past her over her shoulder. She turned, it went past the other shoulder. She turned back the other way.
I'm just visualizing an actual bug
in a washing machine.
In a washing machine.
Man, it's a big bug if you actually notice it's in the washing machine, like arachnophobia or something. That, although technically that's a spider, not a bug. It's an arachnid, but whatever.
We get some big roaches in Miami, I gotta say.
That's right. Got a big roach up on 9. Somebody saw a roach up on 9. That's Ghostbusters.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lost me again.
Well, thanks for making a face, so I tell the people who didn't know. Hope you're having fun. We are here. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael. We're going to finish up this set. Will it be Betania Dela Cruz and her squad taking home 140 team points plus the overall win? They have the overall win. They're looking for 40 more. That's a way to add. Oh, my goodness. Willow Johnson. That shoulder is fire tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she had plenty of rest on it last week. She was the first one to say, hey, I don't like sitting the bench. I don't love being second string. Obviously, she's a great team player. She'll do what her team needs, but she was kind of stolen off the board in a defensive or offensive move by her team last week.
Nearly an ace there. Confusion reigning on Team Caffey. Oh, man, I would have gone to the hot hand again, 44 there. Do they give it back to her? They get another shot. That ball's long. It won't matter. They will stay in control. Am I the only one who,
yes,
when Willow Johnson's left shoulder was on fire, that wanted to sing, "That shoulder's on fire"? Am I the only one who thought that inside his head? Yeah, yeah. Production crew checking in. Yes, only one. 23-14. Betty's still at the line. Touch on Lake and another ace for the captain. That'll be 7 for the team. And Betania Dela Cruz adding to her own personal total, 3 for her. And a nice smile as well as a set point. Looking to add 40 to everyone's score. Can she do it with a +12 for herself via another ace? Johnson fights it off. Remember, Monet blocked. Caffey will collect some more points before the end. Second set point opportunity for Team Dela Cruz. It seems inevitable at this point.
Caffey, a little quiet tonight for the captain.
I'm going to Johnson.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hot hand.
It's Monet. Yeah, well, there's hot hands abounding on that side.
Yeah, there really is no incorrect answer when in terms of the offense for this gold side. Betty has put together for the second week in a row one of the most dominant teams, and she and Member Monet are absolutely dynamic together, but finally seeing what Willow can do, incredible.
You are dead on, because with that kill, and that kill only, did it break the three-way tie. Lekator Member Monet leads with 14 kills. Yes, kisses and 13 kills from Betania de la Cruz Mejia to go along with her 3 aces. And then 13 kills from Willow Johnson added in as well. A balanced and lethal attack for Team de la Cruz Mejia takes the overall 74-58. So they will take home 140 team points via their victory in the second set and the third set, as well as the overall. They arguably should or could have had the first. They had 2 set point opportunities to close it. Team Caffey rallied and won 26-24 in that one. But it was just too much. Team de la Cruz Mejia got hotter as the night wore on here in the Arizona desert. And it was mainly the left shoulder fire of number 44 in the lower left of your screen. Careful, Manami Kojima, don't get too close to that shoulder. You're gonna get burned. The 44 was just lighting it up. She issued some aces early on with the perplexer, and then just kind of became unstoppable. Particularly in transition opportunities. Showed us some range, showed us some power, and some versatility there, just making a smart play. And Willow Johnson is one of those players whose stock just continues to rise as we go through our second week of competition of what will be 5. So hugely important, those team points, as Betania de la Cruz Mejia leaps back above Brittany Abercrombie. I'm expecting some MVP points to come in there as well for the Big Beth, and that may extend the lead further. So she's kind of holding steady against Brittany Abercrombie for the moment, and lots of good points for Lekator Member Monet as well. Let's go down to Key Michael with Willow Johnson.
I was gonna say, I'm talking cats immediately. We were together today vlogging for cats, but first, before we get to that, an amazing performance by you. How good does it feel to be on court again?
It feels really good to be on court again. The team chemistry that we have this week is just phenomenal, and of course playing with Betty again is a dream. So I think being disciplined, following up from last season when I've been with Betty, just being able to come out with her again and crush it.
And your team is the Gold Shimmers, is that right? How'd you come up with that name?
Shimmers. Lekator came up with it, and we just, we were like, okay girl, we're the Gold Shimmers, and it's working.
Well, I know you and I chatted a little earlier because Stumpy, your cat, is giving you good vibes. You told me having him here is one of the best parts about being an Athletes Unlimited. Were you given some vibes today from the cat?
Oh yeah, he came over to my hotel room and we hung out with my cat a little bit. But yeah, my pregame is just taking a little nap and she curls up right next to me, so that helped out with my game today for sure.
Awesome. Great job. Good vibes today. And back to you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Balanced attack on one side for Team Caffey. Brooke Nuneviller with 10 kills, 9 kills for Temi Thomas-Ailara, who I'd expect to see in the starting lineup when Team Caffey takes the floor again. We'll take the floor again tomorrow for the final matches of week 2. But for now, it's 74-58 Team de la Cruz. We will be 7 Eastern. Team Nutsara facing Team Caffey on ESPNU. Tomorrow, come and join us for Key Michael and our entire crew. I'm Kevin Barnett. Thanks for joining us for AU Pro Volleyball.